might be on the same video giving him the same speech next year.
Go out there, have fun.
That was Jayden Daniels and Malik Neighbors, sharing a heartfelt moment with their close friend Kyren Lacy in what would tragically be his final live video. They were optimistic, thinking they'd be celebrating together the next year. Sadly, Kyren's life was tragically cut short just 11 days before the 2025 NFL Draft. The world mourned the loss of a star, but for Jayden Daniels, this wasn't just the loss of a teammate, it was the loss of a brother. Jayden Daniels' emotional tribute. The news that has recently shaken the college football community involves the tragic and untimely passing of former LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy, who was found dead in Houston, Texas on April 12, 2025 at the heartbreakingly young age of 24. This devastating development has sent ripples of grief throughout the sports world, affecting countless individuals who knew Lacy personally or admired him from afar. Perhaps none have felt this loss more profoundly than his former LSU quarterback and close friend, Jayden Daniels, currently making his mark as a rookie sensation with the Washington Commanders. As a teammate, friend, and brother figure to Lacy during their time together at LSU, Daniels found himself confronting the sudden void left by someone who had played a significant role in both his collegiate career and his personal life. Daniels' reaction to Lacy's death came swiftly and from the heart. Less than 24 hours after Lacy was found dead in Houston, Daniels took to social media to express his grief and honor the memory of his former teammate. Through a series of heartfelt posts on his Instagram story, Daniels opened a window into their relationship, sharing memories, photographs, and raw emotions that revealed the depth of their bond. Among the most poignant elements of Daniels' tribute were references to their shared history on the football field. He specifically highlighted their final touchdown connection, the 15-yard pass against Texas A&M that would serve as Daniels' last collegiate touchdown throw. This moment, which might have been just another play in a successful game at the time, had taken on added significance as their final on-field connection, a memory that Daniels now cherished as he mourned his friend. Beyond the football field, Daniels' post painted a picture of a friendship that extended into all aspects of their lives. He shared photos of the core four, himself, Lacy, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr., capturing moments of camaraderie that transcended their roles as teammates. These images served as visual testaments to the brotherhood they had formed, showcasing not just their athletic connection, but their genuine friendship off the field. Daniels' words accompanying these images were raw and emotional, offering insight into both his grief and the relationship he had shared with Lacy. "Till next time, brother, we gonna hold it down for you. You gonna live your dreams through us. Hope you at peace now," he wrote in one caption, expressing not just sorrow but a commitment to carrying Lacy's legacy forward. This promise to hold it down and allow Lacy to live his dreams through them reflected Daniels' determination to honor his friend's memory through his own continued success in the NFL. In another post, Daniels wrote, "Love you, Bruda FR. Always believed in you. Always was there when you needed and vice versa," highlighting the mutual support that characterized their friendship. The reference to being there for each other when needed and vice versa speaks to a relationship built on reciprocal care and support, where each young man could rely on the other during challenging times. Perhaps most heartbreaking was Daniels' lament. "It was your turn next, bro. We was finna be there right with you, I swear." This poignant statement alluded to their draft night promise, when Daniels and Neighbors had vowed to support Lacy during his own NFL draft experience, just as he had been there for them. The realization that this promise would now go unfulfilled added another layer of tragedy to an already devastating situation. Throughout his tributes, Daniels emphasized Lacy's positive spirit and the impact he had made on those around him. He described Lacy as someone who always brought energy and positivity, no matter the situation, calling him a real one who showed love from the very first day. These qualities, energy, positivity, authenticity, and love, encapsulated what Daniels appreciated most about his friend and underscored the void left by his absence. Daniels was not alone in mourning Lacy's passing. Other athletes, including fellow LSU alumni Jamar Chase and Angel Reese, as well as NFL stars like Odell Beckham Jr., Russell Wilson, and Le'Veon Bell, shared messages of condolence on social media. Beckham, who had reportedly referred to Lacy as Lil Bro in a tribute, expressed his grief in a touching tribute, while Wilson lamented, "Praying for everyone. This hurts. Too young." And Bell simply stated, "RIP. So sad to hear news like this." In the aftermath of Lacy's tragic death, a grand jury was set to hear the case, and many athletes, including LSU alumni Jamar Chase and Angel Reese, posted heartfelt messages on social media. Their words conveyed a deep sense of loss, and their support for Lacy's family and friends was palpable palpable, offering solace amid the heartbreak. Yet among these expressions of sorrow, Daniels' tributes stood out for their intimacy and personal nature. While others mourned a talented athlete and member of the LSU family, Daniels mourned a brother, a confidant, and a friend with whom he had shared some of the most formative experiences of his life. His post revealed not just grief, but a commitment to preserving Lacy's memory and ensuring that his friend's dreams would live on through the success of those he left behind. In the days following Lacy's death, as the football community processed this tragic loss, Daniels' tribute served as powerful reminders of the human connections that form the foundation of team sports. Beyond the touchdowns, victories, and statistics, it is these relationships, forged through shared struggles, triumphs, and everyday moments, that often leave the most lasting impact on athletes' lives. The timing of Lacy's death, coming just weeks before the 2025 NFL draft scheduled for April 24, 26, added another layer of poignancy to the situation. Had circumstances been different, Lacy might have been preparing for his own professional journey, with Daniels and neighbors cheering him on just as he had supported them. Instead, the draft would now serve as a bittersweet reminder of what might have been, a future cut short before it could fully unfold. For Daniels, navigating his rookie season with the Washington Commanders while processing this significant loss presents a unique challenge. Professional athletes often face the difficult task of performing at an elite level while managing personal grief or adversity. Daniels' commitment to honoring Lacy's memory by excelling on the field demonstrates not just his dedication to his friend, but his resilience in the face of heartbreak. Lacy's story, and Daniels' reaction to his passing, also brings attention to broader issues surrounding mental health in athletics. The pressures faced by young athletes, from performance expectations to legal troubles and public scrutiny, can create immense psychological strain. Not long after the death of his son, Kyren's father, Kenny Lacy, made a heartfelt call for parents to monitor their children's mental health. His message has since resonated throughout the sports community, emphasizing the importance of emotional well-being alongside physical conditioning and athletic achievement. In this context, Daniels' open expression of grief serves not just as a personal tribute, but as a model for emotional authenticity in a sports culture that has not always encouraged vulnerability. By sharing his pain publicly and honoring his friend's memory without reservation, Daniels contributes to an evolving conversation about mental health, emotional support, and the human aspects of athletic competition. As time passes and the initial shock of Lacy's death gives way to longer-term grief, Daniels will likely continue to find ways to honor his friend's memory, both on and off the field. Though Lacy is no longer physically present, his impact lives on through those who knew and loved him, particularly his friend and former quarterback, who promised, in his own words, "We're gonna hold it down for you. You gonna live your dreams through us." The brotherhood bond. In the high-stakes world of college football, where the spotlight burns brightest and the pressure mounts with each passing season, genuine brotherhood can emerge from the crucible of shared experiences. Such was the case with Jayden Daniels and Kyren Lacy, two talented athletes whose paths converged at Louisiana State University, forming a bond that transcended the boundaries of mere teammates to forge something deeper, more meaningful, and ultimately more enduring. The relationship between Daniels and Lacy was not merely that of a quarterback and receiver. It represented a profound connection built on mutual respect, shared ambitions, and the kind of genuine brotherhood that forms in the pressure cooker environment of elite college athletics. Their story begins in 2022, when both arrived at LSU as transfers, Daniels from Arizona State and Lacy from Louisiana Lafayette, each seeking to elevate their careers in the demanding Southeastern Conference. As transfers adjusting to a new environment, Daniels and Lacy found common ground in their shared experience of having to prove themselves anew. This foundation quickly evolved into a friendship that would leave an indelible mark on both young men. Their on-field chemistry was evident to anyone watching LSU games during the 2022 and 2023 seasons. But what many fans didn't see was the depth of their connection beyond the gridiron.
Love you too.
Love you too, brother. Lay out, bro.
Love you, bro.
My brother, Kyren Lacy, he's been there with us. It was a big four for sure.
The bond between Daniels and Lacy was particularly special as they formed part of what Daniels affectionately referred to as the Core Four, alongside fellow receivers Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. This quartet spent countless hours together, not just in practice and games, but in film sessions, team activities, and personal time, cementing a brotherhood that extended far beyond their roles on the football field. A pivotal moment that showcased their burgeoning chemistry came during LSU's 2023 spring game, when Daniels connected with Lacy on an impressive 70-yard touchdown on the very first play. Lacy made a spectacular one-handed grab before weaving through defenders, demonstrating not only his athletic prowess, but also the trust Daniels had in his ability to make plays. This highlight foreshadowed the connection they would continue to develop throughout their time together at LSU. During the 2023 season, when Daniels embarked on his historic Heisman Trophy-winning campaign, Lacy emerged as a reliable target despite being the third option behind the prolific Neighbors and Thomas. Lacy managed to carve out a significant role for himself, recording 30 receptions for 558 yards and 7 touchdowns that season. His contributions were crucial to LSU's offensive success and Daniels' historic season, which saw the quarterback pass for 3,812 yards and 40 touchdowns, while adding 1,134 rushing yards to his impressive stat line. What made their relationship so special was not just their on-field success, but the genuine care and support they showed for each other. In the summer of 2022, early in their LSU tenure, Daniels invited Lacy, along with Neighbors, Thomas, and other teammates, to his hometown in San Bernardino, California. For Daniels, a West Coast native new to the Deep South, this was an opportunity to show his teammates his roots. For Lacy, a Louisiana native, it was a chance to bond with his quarterback in a different environment, away from the pressures of Baton Rouge. Daniels later reflected on this trip, noting that it was about building that bond and showing those guys a different type of lifestyle, highlighting his intention to forge connections that extended beyond their football responsibilities. This California excursion represented just one of many moments that strengthened their friendship, creating memories that would later become all the more precious. In the wake of tragedy, as their time at LSU progressed, so too did their bond. Lacy continued to develop as a receiver, and by his final season in 2024, he had emerged as one of the Tigers' most reliable pass catchers. He led the team with 9 receiving touchdowns, ranked second with 58 receptions, and amassed 866 receiving yards, earning second-team All-SEC honors. His college career totals were impressive: 162 receptions, 2,360 yards, and 26 touchdowns across his time at both Louisiana Lafayette and LSU. Meanwhile, Daniels had firmly established himself as one of college football's elite quarterbacks. His dual-threat capabilities, having thrown for 6,725 yards and rushed for 2,019 yards during his LSU career, made him a nightmare for opposing defenses and opened up countless opportunities for receivers like Lacy. Their ability to sync up, especially in high-pressure situations, was a testament to the hours they spent refining routes and building trust both on and off the field.
But this year was mainly, me, Kyren, and BT, and anybody else that wanted to step up. So when we was out there, catching his balls after practice, or we was just doing the little things, right? He got comfortable with us. So it forced him to be comfortable to make sure, my guy BT is down there. I can just throw it. He's going to get it all.
The culmination of their on-field partnership came in the waning minutes of a 42-30 victory over Texas A&M, when Daniels threw what would be his final collegiate touchdown pass to none other than Lacy, a 15-yard connection that would later take on added significance in light of subsequent events. This moment, seemingly routine at the time, would become a poignant memory for Daniels following Lacy's passing. A particularly touching example of their closeness came during the 2024 NFL Draft. Lacy surprised Daniels and Neighbors, who were selected number 2 overall by the Washington Commanders and number 6 overall by the New York Giants, respectively, by joining them to celebrate their achievements. A video captured Lacy's beaming smile as he jokingly answered Daniels' question about catching his last touchdown pass as an LSU Tiger, saying it felt amazing. In a moment that would later take on heartbreaking significance, Daniels and Neighbors vowed to return the favor when Lacy's draft moment arrived, a promise that tragically would never be fulfilled.
Yeah, that was a great surprise.
We might be on the same video giving him the same speech next year.
Despite being selected early in the draft and moving on to their professional careers, Daniels and Neighbors never forgot about their friend and former teammate. They continued to support Lacy from afar as he prepared for his own NFL journey, with Daniels frequently checking in on his progress and offering encouragement. Lacy declared for the 2025 NFL Draft on December 19, 2024, and participated in LSU's Pro Day on March 26, 2025, posting impressive numbers that included a 4.50-second 40-yard dash and a 36-inch vertical jump. Initially projected as a potential Day 2 selection, Lacy appeared to be on the cusp of realizing his NFL dreams that his friends Daniels and Neighbors had already begun living out. The foundation of trust, respect, and genuine care that Daniels and Lacy built during their time together at LSU was unmistakable. In describing their relationship, Daniels would later speak of Lacy as someone who always brought that energy and positivity no matter what, a real one, who showed love from the first day. Lacy, in turn, leaned on Daniels as both a leader and a friend, with Daniels noting they were there for each other when you needed and vice versa. Their story serves as a powerful reminder of how the bonds formed through sports can transcend the games themselves, creating connections that endure long after the final whistle has blown. The brotherhood between Jayden Daniels and Kyren Lacy, alongside Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr., exemplifies the profound relationships that can develop among teammates who share not just a locker room, but a vision, a work ethic, and a genuine care for one another's success and well-being. Yet, as is often the case in life, the most inspiring stories can take unexpected and heartbreaking turns. The bright future that seemed to await Kyren Lacy would never come to fruition, and the brotherhood that had sustained him and his teammates through the rigors of college football would soon be tested in ways none of them could have anticipated. The tragic turn. The promising trajectory of Kyren Lacy's life and career took a devastating turn in December 2024, just as he was preparing to take his talents to the professional level. On December 17, 2024, Lacy was allegedly involved in a fatal crash on Louisiana Highway 20 in Lafourche Parish that would cast a dark shadow over his NFL aspirations and ultimately contribute to the circumstances surrounding his untimely death. According to reports, Lacy was driving a 2023 Dodge Charger when he allegedly passed multiple vehicles at high speed in a no-passing zone, contributing to a collision that resulted in the death of 78-year-old former U.S. Marine Herman Hall and injured 2 others. Compounding the severity of the situation, Lacy was accused of fleeing the scene without rendering aid or contacting authorities, actions that would lead to serious legal consequences. In the aftermath of this tragic accident, Lacy faced charges of negligent homicide, felony hit and run with death, and reckless operation of a vehicle. An arrest warrant was issued on January 10, 2025, and Lacy turned himself in 2 days later, posting a $151,000 bail. The legal troubles that ensued would significantly impact his draft prospects and, more importantly, his mental state during what should have been one of the most exciting periods of his life. It's worth noting that Lacy's attorney, Matthew Ory, maintained his client's innocence regarding direct responsibility for the crash. Ory argued that Lacy had safely re-entered his lane after passing the vehicles and that another driver had caused the collision. He emphasized Lacy's cooperation with authorities, though the case was set to go before a grand jury on April 14, 2025, a date that Lacy would not live to see. The charges had immediate consequences for Lacy's professional prospects. He was excluded from the 2025 NFL Combine, a significant setback for any draft hopeful. Before the crash, ESPN's respected analyst Mel Kiper Jr. had ranked Lacy as a top 6 receiver prospect in December 2024, but by March 2025, he had fallen off Kiper's top 10 list entirely due to the legal issues hanging over him. Despite these challenges, Lacy continued to pursue his NFL dreams. He participated in LSU's Pro Day on March 26, 2025, showcasing his athletic abilities and attempting to improve his draft stock in the face of his legal troubles. His performance that day, including the aforementioned 4.50-second 40-yard dash and 36-inch vertical jump, demonstrated his physical talents, even as the uncertainty surrounding his legal situation cast doubt on his immediate future in professional football. Throughout this difficult period, it appears that Lacy maintained contact with his former teammates, including Jayden Daniels. The bond they had formed during their time at LSU provided a source of support as Lacy navigated the challenging circumstances he faced. Given Daniels' caring nature and the closeness of their relationship, it's likely that he offered encouragement and friendship during this trying time, though the specific details of their communications during this period aren't documented in the available sources. As the date for the grand jury hearing approached, the pressure on Lacy intensified. The potential consequences of the charges against him were severe, including the possibility of significant prison time if convicted. The combination of legal jeopardy, damaged reputation, and uncertain professional future would weigh heavily on anyone, particularly a young athlete on the cusp of realizing his lifelong dreams. The tragic culmination of these circumstances occurred on April 12, 2025, just 2 days before Lacy was scheduled to appear before the grand jury. According to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, the sequence of events began when deputies responded to a call about a weapons disturbance. Lacy was reportedly having an intense argument with a family member when tensions escalated, and he discharged a firearm into the ground. The loud bang echoed in the air, signaling a moment of panic. By the time authorities arrived, Lacy had already left the scene, vanishing into the night with only his vehicle left behind as a clue to his whereabouts. Deputies had been called to a weapons disturbance, and upon arrival, they learned that Lacy had fired the gun during the heated exchange, his actions escalating an already volatile situation. Approximately 20 minutes later, law enforcement spotted Lacy's vehicle and attempted to initiate a traffic stop. What followed was a tense police pursuit that stretched for several miles, with Lacy weaving through traffic at high speeds, narrowly avoiding collisions as sirens blared behind him. At one point, Lacy appeared to lose control of his vehicle before regaining speed and continuing his evasive maneuvers. The chase finally ended when Lacy's vehicle crashed along Aldine Westfield Road in Houston. When deputies approached the vehicle, they discovered that Lacy had suffered what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Authorities believed the shot was fired during the chase, before the vehicle came to a stop. The devastating news of Lacy's death quickly spread throughout the sports community, sending shockwaves through LSU and the broader football world. LSU Athletics issued a statement on April 13, 2025, expressing their sorrow. "We're saddened to learn of the tragic passing of former LSU football student-athlete Kyren Lacy. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and loved ones, as well as his former teammates and coaches impacted by his passing." The timing of Lacy's death, occurring just hours before he was scheduled to face a grand jury, suggests the immense psychological pressure he may have been experiencing. The prospect of a criminal trial, potential incarceration, and the likely end of his professional football aspirations before they had truly begun may have contributed to a state of profound distress. While it's impossible to know with certainty the thoughts and emotions Lacy was experiencing in his final moments, the circumstances point to a young man overwhelmed by the consequences of past actions and the uncertainty of his future. Lacy's father, Kyren Lacy, offered poignant insight into his son's state of mind through a heartfelt Facebook post following the tragedy. He urged parents to monitor their children's mental health closely. "Young parents, start talking to your kids at a very early age and make sure they are confident and comfortable confiding in you." Kyren Lacy's message highlighted the hidden struggles that can lie beneath outward appearances, suggesting that his son may have been battling significant emotional challenges that weren't apparent to those around him. This emphasis on mental health awareness resonated throughout the responses to Lacy's death, underscoring the importance of open communication and psychological support, particularly for young athletes facing immense pressure both on and off the field. Kyren Lacy's call for parents to check on your kids' mental has become a powerful takeaway from this tragedy, reminding us all of the invisible battles many individuals fight behind brave facades. The news of Lacy's death reverberated throughout the football community, with former teammates, coaches, and fellow athletes expressing their shock and sadness. Among them was Jayden Daniels, who had maintained a close relationship with Lacy even after their paths diverged professionally. Daniels' reaction to the loss of his friend and former teammate would reveal the depth of their bond and the profound impact Lacy had made on his life. As the details of Lacy's death became public, a complex picture emerged of a talented young athlete whose promising future was derailed by a series of events that culminated in tragedy. The narrative reminds us of the fragility of human life and the immense pressures faced by young athletes, particularly those navigating legal troubles and public scrutiny while pursuing their professional dreams. While the circumstances surrounding Lacy's death are undoubtedly tragic, they should not overshadow the person he was: a dedicated athlete with remarkable talents, a cherished teammate, a beloved son, and a young man who touched countless lives during his brief time. His story serves as a stark reminder of the importance of mental health support and the need for compassion when addressing the struggles faced by individuals in crisis. The loss of Kyren Lacy left an indelible mark on all who knew him, but perhaps none felt it more acutely than those closest to him: his family, his friends, and his former teammates, including Jayden Daniels. In the aftermath of this heartbreaking event, Daniels would find himself processing grief while simultaneously honoring the memory of a friend who had meant so much to him during their shared journey at LSU. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.